All right, y'all, we are back with another video. I definitely had to bring y'all this right here. So first thing I want to say is, man, please put prayers for President Trump down below in the comment section, man. We must keep the president safe at all times. So here we go again, that now we said that we got breaking news that the U.S. Secret Service has uncovered a suspicious hunting stand with direct line of sight to where President Trump exits his Air Force One at Palm Beach International Airport. And they're trying to say that it seemed like it was reportedly set up months ago, as if whoever did it knew that President Trump would be there. And I'm gonna show y'all the images of where they had this little hunting stand at, and where you can see straight ahead where President Trump, comes down the stairs. And it was like direct line of sight. So somebody had to been put it there, because it seemed like it was like they climbed a tree and put it in a tree, a hunting stand, but we definitely going to get to that. But like I said, man, we got to keep President Trump safe, because at this point, it seemed like these crazy people out here, these crazy leftists, is not going to stop. And kudos and salute to Secret Service for even seeing it. So they is investigating it to find out who put it there. Maybe they got any, like, some camera footage of somebody climbing that tree, putting that hunting stand right there. So as more information comes out, I will keep y'all up to date, but I will get straight into this and show y'all exactly what's going on. Not only that, President Trump just did an interview pretty much going off on Barack Hussein Obama, and, pretty much speaking on this No King protest that these Democrats had yesterday, when a lot of people didn't even show up. I mean, this is right here, it's just freaking insane to me, man. These people are freaking crazy. And not only that, President Trump dropped a nuke on Truth Social, and I'm going to show y'all exactly what he did. So like I said, we got a lot going on in here, man. Even Mike Johnson came out and started speaking some more on everything that's going on. And we definitely going to get to it. So please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody showing so much support. And shout out to the one that always watches the entire video. I appreciate all of you that do that. It definitely helps get the video out there. So please let me know down below that you did watch this entire video, and I really appreciate it. Without further ado, man, let's go ahead and dive straight into this. So you can see right here on my screen as something that I had just read by Eric Daughter said, breaking. The U.S. Secret Service has uncovered a suspicious hunting stand with direct line of sight to where President Trump exits Air Force One at Palm Beach International Airport, reportedly set up months ago. They would never stop going after him. Trump is in Florida now and departs tonight. Prior to the president's return to West Palm Beach, the Secret Service discovered what appeared to be an elevated hunting stand with sight line of Air Force One landing zone, FBI Dr. Kash Patel told Fox. No individuals were located at the scene. The FBI has since taken the investigatory lead, flying in resources to collect all evidence from the scene and deploying our cell phone analytics capabilities, Protect 47. And you can see right here in the middle where you see this hunting stand right here. So somebody had to climb this tree and put it up there. And of course, President Trump normally comes out right here, walk down the stairs, and it's like literally direct line of sight. And I'm gonna show y'all the image in just a second. But man, this is right here just some scary stuff. I'm just so sick of these people, man, doing stuff like this. And this was just seconds ago that they found this, and I'm glad they did. Because if it was, let's say President Trump was getting off Air Force One and it was nighttime, and then what if Secret Service didn't even see that hunting stand in the tree? So thank God that they got it and they found it. So, and you see Benny Johnson speaking on it, said, breaking, the U.S. Secret Service discovered a suspicious hunting stand position with a clear view of the area where President Trump disembarks from Air Force One at Palm Beach International Airport, according to Fox News. So, and like I said, you see Benny is speaking on this, and here go ALX, speaking on, said, breaking image of the suspicious hunting stand under investigation by the U.S. Secret Service that has a direct line of sight to where President Trump exits Air Force One at Palm Beach International Airport. So obviously you see the hunting stand right here, and this how it look when you looking in the front. So this is President Trump's plane. Obviously he comes straight down, and it's like literally a direct line of sight. So man, that's why I said, man, we have to keep President Trump safe, man. We had to keep him safe. And not only that, they did this months ago because they knew he'll be coming there. Wow. And of course, like I said, because everybody was speaking on it. And they say FBI investigates hunting stand with sight line to Trump's Air Force One exit area at Palm Beach Airport. Secret Service agent found suspicious elevated stand during advanced security preparations before Trump's arrival. And that's why I'm so happy that they did this before President Trump's arrival, that they seen that stand there. Because what if they didn't see it there? And like I said, President Trump was getting off at nighttime. And then now you can't even see the stand in the tree, more likely. So I'm glad it was still daytime, and Secret Service located it way before President Trump. I don't even think President Trump made it there yet, but of course he was going to be coming there. So I'm glad they did, locate that. Wow, man, this right here is some scary stuff. So please put prayers for President Trump down below in the comment section. Like I said, man, we have to keep President Trump safe. Everybody in the Trump administration safe. Because obviously, as we can see, these liberals is not going to stop. These crazy leftists is not going to stop. So let's get straight into this, where President Trump had an interview on Fox News. I got some clips that I want to share with y'all of what's going on. But like I said right here by Eric Dawes, said, breaking, President Trump just scorched Barack Hussein Obama and says more deep state officials will be caught. And that right there is including watermelon head, pencil neck Adam Schiff. So let's listen to what the president had to say.
All of these indictments caused Obama the other day on a podcast to say that right now democracy is being threatened.
Yeah, I know. He says that all the time. He's the one that threatened it by spying on my campaign. He started it. Obama spied on my campaign, and he did it knowing it was illegal. He knew it was illegal. But he started the whole thing, and there were a lot of dishonest people, and I suspect they'll be caught.
And I suspect they will be caught, of course. So ain't it funny that Obama would say something like that, but yet, but why he didn't go after Hillary? Why did Obama go after Hillary? Oh, we all know why he didn't go after Hillary. So don't nobody want to hear what Barack Hussein Obama got to say about anything. He just mad. That's all that is. So, and then we checked this one. I said, President Trump Trump derangement syndrome has pushed Democrats to demand $1.5 trillion for illegal aliens. That I've been saying all this week, even going back to last week, that President Trump is not going to get him no $1.5 trillion for some free haircut for illegal aliens. And you got this dollar store Barack Obama that's running around talking about, we ain't trying to give free haircut to illegal aliens, but it's in the books. It's in the books what y'all demanding. So he'll get right on camera and lie about everything. Check out what President Trump said.
They have a deal. We have a deal. We just want an extension. And the reason we want an extension is because you can't make a deal with these people. They're lunatics. They've gone crazy. They're crazed people. Trump derangement syndrome. There really is that disease. At first I found it to be amusing. Now I find that it really is. They want $1.5 trillion for health care for illegal aliens that come into our country. If we do that, it will jeopardize the health care of the citizens of our country. So we're not going to do that.
So, and you hear what President Trump said, but of course, they are running around, like I've been saying this all week. Feel like I'm on repeat. We've been saying this all week, that they keep on trying to blame the shutdown on President Trump because he won't agree with what the dumb stuff that they trying to demand for illegal aliens. And what do Hakeem Jeffrey keep on saying? Oh, well, the Republicans shut the government down. They shut it down. They got the power to reopen it. So they got the power to reopen it by caving into y'all demands. It's like that right there is just insane to me. And we seen what President Trump did for Washington. We see what he did for Chicago. And of course, he seemed like he's saying San Francisco is up next. So just then, President Trump said Democrats ran San Francisco into the ground, but he's about to save it.
But the governor, who got thrown out of his business by his family because he's a dope, but the governor, Pritzker, he doesn't want us in. If I were him, if I were a Democrat and I were him, I'd say, come on in. What do you have to lose?
And you're going to go to San Francisco next.
We're going to go to San Francisco. The difference is I think they want us in San Francisco. San Francisco was truly one of the great cities of the world. And then 15 years ago, it went wrong. It went woke. Remember my statement? Anything woke is, and then I used a filthy, well, broke is another word. I used a filthy word, but I didn't.
No.
I took enough heat on that. I won't say it again, but it's true. I mean, nothing changes, right? But we're going to go to San Francisco, and we're going to make it great. We're going to make it great. It'll be great. Again, San Francisco is a great city. It won't be great if it keeps going like this.
And see, that's why they so mad at President Trump, because the man is making progress. He's standing on everything that he promised the American people. The man that went to Washington, went to Chicago, now he's saying San Francisco. This man just does not stop. He keeps working for us. That's why we are so happy to have this man in power, because he is getting the job done. So let's check this out by Eric Dawson. Breaking President Trump just reminded Antifa, blue state governors and mayors of one very important fact. And let's find out what that fact is.
And don't forget, and I haven't used it, but don't forget, I can use the Insurrection Act. 50% of the presidents almost have used that. And that's unquestioned power. I choose not to. I'd rather do this. But I'm met constantly by fake politicians that think that, you know, it's not like a part of the radical left movement to have safety. These cities have to be safe. Our cities that are Democrat run, exclusively just about.
Yeah.
Did in D.C., so we're in Chicago now. We're being met with, by the way, the people love us. The people want us there. I said, beautiful black women wearing MAGA caps all over the city. It's the most incredible thing. I love it.
I love it too.
And they're all, you know, there's like MAGA. I think you had them on your program. They're MAGA all over the place. But the governor, who got thrown out of his business by his family because he's a dope, but the governor, Pritzker, he doesn't want us in. You know, if I were him, if I were a Democrat and I were him.
And we heard what he said. If he was a Democrat, he would. See, that's the thing. They just got ego, man. Him, J.B. Pritzker, you know, Brandon Johnson. It's just their ego, man. They just hate Trump so much that they don't want his help. They want President Trump to fail. They want him to fail. They know what he's doing is right, but they want to push back. Oh, we don't need the troops here. But yet, y'all can't stop the killing that's going on in y'all city. You can't stop it. So the president of the United States is trying to help, and y'all just trying to turn him down. Just insane. Then you got Brandon Johnson calling President Trump fascist the other day. This is the type of rhetoric that we all be talking about. So just now, President Trump said radical left lunatics who were smart, and yet they have been after me for so many years.
He was surrounded by radical left lunatics who were smart. And yet they've been after me for so many years, and how am I doing? Yeah, I'm president. Here we are in the White House. Are we in the White House? I think so, yes. Right? So we want to go in and do what we did in D.C. So
exactly. That's what I just mentioned before. We want to do what he did in D.C., what he did in Chicago. Of course, there was a lot of hiccups in there because of, you know, these Antifa and all these rioters and stuff. But President Trump is still getting the job done. Not only that, he sent Chuck Schumer a message since, you know, he made a mistake by shutting down the government and trying to blame it on the, you know, the Republicans. So check out this President Trump said he got for Chuck Schumer.
We're cutting Democrat programs that we didn't want because, I mean, they made one mistake. They didn't realize that gives me the right to cut programs that Republicans never wanted. You know, giveaways, welfare programs, et cetera. And we're doing that, and we're cutting them permanently. We're cutting a $20 billion project that Schumer fought for 15 years to get, and I'm cutting the project. The project is going to be dead. It's pretty much dead right now.
Well, how significant will the layoffs be? Because now you've got a federal judge trying to stop you there as well, saying that any layoffs during a temporary shutdown is illegal.
These judges, I'm telling you, it's so terrible.
Exactly. They just radical left judges that they're trying to... See, here's the thing right here. You can't allow judges to stop the president of the United States from doing his job. Then nobody vote for no judge. This is the president of the United States. You cannot allow judges when you know you got judges that are leftist Democrats that, of course, J.B. Pritzker, all these Democrats, Hakeem Jeffrey, they will try to use judges to stop President Trump, and he knows that. That's the reason why he don't care what these judges say. He's just going to keep doing what he's doing. So ain't nobody studying none of these judges right here. But I do want to turn it over for a second to Mike Johnson, because they say, wow, fake news. ABC tried to gotcha Speaker Johnson and it failed miserably. And let's find out what actually happened.
In issuing the pardon, or it's clemency, I'm sorry, the clemency, he said at least Santos had the courage, conviction, and intelligence to always vote Republican. I looked through this. There have now, I think we have a list of them, 10 former Republican members of Congress who the president has either pardoned or issued clemency for.
What? So he's saying it's 10. Did he forget that Biden pardoned his family? Well, I tell you, they try to make this stuff so one-sided, but they forgot who Biden pardoned. Look, you got Adam Schiff, and then the thing is, we don't even think Biden pardoned him. It was like an auto pen. Biden had no idea about it, but I'm gonna let Mike Johnson tell y'all though. Let's go.
A list of them. 10 former Republican members of Congress who the president has either pardoned or issued clemency for. 10.
Okay, you want to talk about what Joe Biden did with that power?
No,
he pardoned his own family. The only thing he signed, by the way, with his own pen, everything else is auto pen.
Yeah, but
categories of hardened criminals that they just released from prison. At least President Trump is fully transparent. He goes out and explains his rationale.
Is it okay for him to say that essentially I'm pardoning somebody because they always had the courage?
That's not the reason he pardoned.
Conviction and intelligence to always vote Republican.
That's one snippet of what he said among many things about George Santos.
But should that be a factor in pardoning somebody? That they vote Republican?
I don't think it was.
Clemency?
No, I don't think it was. I just think he's talking about this individual and his past, and at least he's open and transparent about it. Joe Biden never told us anything, and frankly, we're not even sure he knew who he's pardoning.
Exactly, he didn't know. So he want to talk about who President Trump, granted clemency to, but look what Joe Biden did. His family. I'm telling you, these people is so freaking one-sided, man. So freaking one-sided. They say, holy crap, President Trump, and we'll get back to Mike Johnson in just a second. He said, President Trump just revealed something huge. It's pretty much saying, hey, it could be 20 trillion of investments in America by the end of the year.
Chips. I put big tariffs on chips unless they're made here. There's no tariff if they make them here. And all those companies are coming back from Taiwan. They're coming back from all over the world. And they're coming back fast. You know better than anybody else, $17 trillion. It could be $20 trillion by the end of the first year, my first year.
Investment in America.
Investing in America, $20 trillion. No country's ever done anywhere even near that, like a fraction of that. Biden did less than $1 trillion in 4 years. I did 20 trillion. We're going to do over 17 trillion in 8 months. By the time we end, we could do over $20 trillion. There's never, in China, no matter where you go, there's never been anything like it. We are building up something that's unbelievable. And a big part of that are the tariffs.
Exactly.
Chips.
I agree. And another one, he's got President Trump informing Hamas he will forcibly remove them from power in Gaza if they don't disarm and step away themselves. So President Trump put out this warning the other day, and it seems like he's doubling down on it.
Is there a timeline to get Hamas to disarm, in your mind?
Not a timeline, not a hard line, but we're going to see how it all works out. They've lived there for a long time. They're very violent, as you understand. You've been covering it for a long time. But we're going to find out. Don't forget, 50,000 of them have been killed, okay? So they killed 1,200 people in the October 7th attack. It was an attack. They killed 1,200, but Israel can say that we killed 50,000, and so you'd say it's a whole new set of people, and it is. I mean, they get replaced by other people, young people, but we're going to find out. So it's not a hard timeline, but it's a line in my own mind. And at a certain point, if they don't do what they're supposed to do, then we'll have to do it for them.
Wow. We'll have to do them for them. And we got something else to speak on that about Hamas in just a second as well, because President Trump said something about that. But here we go back with Mike Johnson. They'll say, Speaker Johnson just dropped a truth nuke on the No Kings. Of course, we seen what happened yesterday. Of course, they running around and it failed miserably. Seemed like as money ran out, they all just left. So it wasn't no all-day thing seemed like the Democrat was promising to the other Democrats. But let's go.
I'm joined now by the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, right here in the studio. Speaker Johnson, thank you for joining us.
Glad to be with you. Thanks.
So let's start with the No Kings rallies. You called these Hate America rallies. What do you mean by that?
Well, that collection of folks that I listed were certainly part of it. We congratulate them on a apparently violent free speech exercise. I was a First Amendment lawyer for 20 years. We defend that right. But the irony of the message is pretty clear for everyone. If President Trump was a king, the government would be open right now. If President Trump was a king, they would not have been able to engage in that free speech exercise on the mall, by the way, which was open because President Trump hasn't closed it. In the last shutdown, 2013 era, President Obama closed the National Mall, it closed all the national parks, didn't allow people to engage in all this. So, I mean, they needed a stop.
But they won't talk about that, though.
Chuck Schumer needs cover right now. He's closed the government down because he needs political cover, and this was a part of it.
Exactly. So they ain't gonna say nothing about when Obama closed the mall and closed all this stuff down, but let it have been President Trump, man. It'd have been everywhere, all over CNN, all over ABC, CBS. It'd have been everywhere if it was President Trump. So it is just crazy. Like, look at these people, man. It say, what has caused old white Americans, must say, to behave this way and suffer severe Trump derangement syndrome. Just insane. Look at these people, bro. Look at this. Absolutely insane. My God. Just freaking crazy. Now, check out what this young lady did right here. So she pretty much saying, okay, the woman at No Kings, pretty much asking, some of these protesters questions. She said, how has President Trump put your freedom in jeopardy? The man say, I wouldn't save my freedom. Then she say, so why are you here? He didn't put your freedom in jeopardy or anything, so why are you here? You know why they are here? Because they've been paid.
Okay, guys, we're here as a Christian conservative at a No Kings rally, and we're gonna have some conversations with people and see why they believe President Trump is putting their freedom in danger. I'm a Christian, so I love Jesus, and I also happen to love President Trump. I was wondering, you're at the No Kings protest today, I was wondering how President Trump has put your freedom in jeopardy.
I wouldn't say my freedom's in jeopardy.
Okay. So whose freedom's in? Why are you out here at the No Kings protest, I guess?
Can he answer?
I was wondering.
Look at that. He couldn't even answer. This guy couldn't even answer. All he did was just rub his beard. How has President Trump put your freedom in danger? I wouldn't say my freedom in danger. Then why are you here? And he couldn't answer the question. The reason he couldn't answer the question is because him and the rest of these No King protesters that showed up got paid. He didn't want to say it. It seemed like he wanted to say, well, we got paid, We all know that they got paid. That's why they are here. I want y'all to listen to this again. Listen to this again.
I'm a Christian, so I love Jesus, and I also happen to love President Trump. I was wondering, you're at the No Kings protest today, I was wondering how President Trump has put your freedom in jeopardy.
I wouldn't say my freedom's in jeopardy.
Okay. So whose freedom's in? Why are you out here at the No Kings protest, I guess?
Can't even answer. Look at him. He can't answer.
I was
So he
wondering,
said sorry.
What has President Trump done to put your freedom in danger?
We have something coming to
I think that he has done so by
what? She can't even, bro. None of these people can answer the question about how President Trump put their freedom in jeopardy. They can't answer. Look how she's looking. She's just trying to think of something to say. He put our freedom in jeopardy by what? Man. Look at this. She couldn't answer. None of them couldn't answer why they are there, but at the end of the day, everybody watching this video know for a fact why they are there, because they've been paid.
Freedom in danger.
We have something coming to
I think that he has done so by
By what?
sorry, we weren't.
She
expecting
can't
to be
think. Look
You're
at
not
this.
cute. This isn't funny.
Oh, you're so sweet.
She couldn't even, bruh, none of them can answer the question. He put my freedom in jeopardy by no answer. Absolutely no answer. So let's get back over here to Speaker Johnson rightly calls out the rise of Marxism in the Democrat Party.
So let's start with the No Kings rallies. You called these Hate America.
On the mall, by the way, which was open because President Trump hasn't closed it. In the last shutdown, 2013 era, President Obama closed the national mall.
Yes, he did.
Closed all the national parks, didn't allow people to engage in all this. So, I mean, they needed a stunt. They needed a show. Chuck Schumer needs cover right now. He's closed the government down because he needs political cover, and this was a part of it.
We'll get to the shutdown, but just on this notion that these are Hate America rallies, and you not only talked about anarchists, Antifa advocates, pro-Hamas wing, and you said this is the modern Democratic Party. But I remember not that long ago what you said after the murder of Charlie Kirk, when you said that we should view fellow Americans not as our enemies, but as our fellow countrymen.
Yeah, I've never called anybody an enemy, but we call out...
Hate America rally or, Antifa, pro-Hamas, those are enemies.
Well, there were a lot of hateful messages yesterday. I mean, we have video and photos of pretty violent rhetoric, calling out the president, saying fascists must die and all the rest. I mean, I don't think that's loving speech. I don't think that's friendly speech. And I don't think it's pro-American to say those kinds of things. So it's not about the people, it's about the message, it's about the ideology. And I will stand here every Sunday and talk with you about the dangers of Marxism and socialism and how it's led to the literal death of tens of millions of people in the 20th century alone. It is a dangerous ideology, and it is anti-American. It goes against everything that we stand for.
But you're not saying that this is all of the Democratic Party. It's not all of the people that were out there. I mean, it kind of reminds me of Hillary Clinton referred to Trump supporters, or half of them, as the basket of deplorables.
I've never said that. I never said it was the whole Democratic Party, but you and I have to...
Boy, they like putting words in people's mouth, boy. I'm telling you, dude. That's the reason why a lot of people don't even like to go on like these leftist networks, bro. They will put words in your mouth. It's always these gotcha questions. That's what they always look for.
It's a reality. Wait a minute.
So this is the modern Democratic Party.
It is, because look at the evidence. Look at what's happening in New York. They're about to elect an open socialist Marxist as the mayor of America's largest city. There's a rise of Marxism in the Democratic Party. It's an objective fact, and no one can deny it. We lament that. We decry it. We're trying to call it out because I want to make sure the next generation of Americans understands that is a dangerous road to go down. That's part of our calling. I think part of our responsibility as elected servants of the people.
Exactly. And of course, meanwhile in Chicago, this is what you see. Look at this. No Kings protesters in Chicago did a cringe dance on Saturday. Democrats don't have positive policy, just embarrassing displays. Meanwhile, this is what they doing. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. Look at this. What is this? What is this? Absolutely insane, man. They have nothing else better to do. They have nothing else better to do but this right here. Just dancing. You got to be kidding me, man. And Speaker Johnson correctly calls out the absurdity of Democrats critically calling President Trump a king during their hate American protests. If Trump was indeed a king, then he wouldn't have never let these hateful protests happen. He's the king of freedom. Of course. Of course.
The government would be open right now. If President Trump was a king, they would not have been able to engage in that free speech exercise out on the...
Exactly. But, you know, they don't care at all, man. But the last couple of things I do want to show y'all is these funny posts right here. So you see right here, say just saying Team Trump trolls the No Kings protest on Instagram by sharing an AI video of President Trump dressed like a king in front of the White House with Andrea Bocelli music playing. The video amassed 34,000 likes in just 30 minutes. Look at this. And they are mad over this. King Trump. That's King Trump. And this is the last thing. So, of course, we know how these liberals is, these Democrats, and especially this old clown, this dummy old Harry Sisson. He always somewhere running his mouth. But Donald Trump posted this right here. It say, oh my God, the president of the United States just posted himself piloting a fighter jet with King Trump on the side and dumping mud all over Harry Sisson and No Kings protester to the song Danger Zone. He is one of a kind. Now, I definitely want to show y'all this because, like I said, this right here is funny. And this right here is what they get. So let's check it out. My God, look at that. He just dropped mud all over all the No King protesters' head. Just drop. Look at that. Hey, you just gotta love it, man. And this is why they so mad at King Trump. This is why we call him King Trump. Just dump mud all over him, boy. Oh, man. But salute to President Trump, man. Like I said, y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about this. Like I said, I will keep y'all up to date as more information comes out. But like I said before, please put prayers for President Trump down below in the comment section. If I'm gonna see if we're gonna get any more updates of that sniper nest that was set up. Seemed like somebody had it set up to try their best to get a shot off on President Trump. So hopefully they find out who did it. If there's camera footage of anything like that showing a person climbing a tree and setting that up there. So hopefully we get that. So like I said, make sure you are subscribed to this channel with your notifications turned on to all. That way you don't miss any of my uploads. No, soon as I get the scoop, I'm gonna get y'all in the loop. So hey, make sure you are subscribed. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.